Harbaugh Bowl. Chargers and the Ravens. This one's a big one. Both teams, of course, with 7 wins in the AFC, right in the thick of the playoff race. We'll start with John from the Ravens side on facing his brother Jim once again.
I don't know about anticipating stuff. I think it's more in the emotional world. You know, it's more in the in that place. I mean, it's unique and it's never been done before. You know, and I don't know if it'll happen again for a long time. You know, this particular thing. So, I think it's hard to describe it. And I say to people, if you have a sibling, you know, you're close to, you probably understand it. You probably can put yourself in those shoes and just kind of imagine what it's like to be across the sidelines in an NFL game, coaching your teams. Everything else is the same.
Everything else is the same. It is all the same. And I believe he's 3-0 against him, or he liked to mention the other day. He's 3-0 against Jim, looking to stay undefeated. By the way, UConn hit a 3 with .9 left to tie the game.
What'd I tell you?
At 82. So you don't foul.
Could have fouled them.
UConn nails the 3, and they are going to go to overtime, it looks like. Although the Memphis has a timeout with, I guess that's .1 left or .9 left, whatever it is.
1.2 seconds left now. They added time.
So they give them a little bit back. Added a couple, and they will have 1.2 to try to get off. But they got to go the length, Joe. This is not the NBA where you get it at the half line. You need to get the whole length of the court. So that game, I don't know. I'm tired of saying what things are going to happen because yesterday with me and Joe, so many weird things happened when I said this is going to be done.
Correct.
And suddenly chaos ensued. I'm going to wait until they actually go to overtime before I'm going to say that UConn and Memphis are going to overtime. Other side, of course, is Jim. We always play crazy clips of Jim Harbaugh on Coast to Coast now. He loves primetime games, and why not? Everybody gets excited.
Like primetime. Always thought that. You know, it's like, tonight's going to be a good night. It has that Black Eyed Peas kind of feel. That's always the kind of feeling. We're going. Got my friends are with me, and we're going to go out. Let's make it a great night.
Black Eyed Peas said, okay.
Who isn't, right?
Jim's he's a gem, Joe. He really is. Some of the stuff that he comes out with on a daily basis. So Jim Harbaugh, very excited. Bad news for the Ravens is Roquan Smith not expected to play tonight. That is a problem for them, especially on D. We know the stuff that the Chargers are going to want to do. All right, Joe, as I promised you, the Chargers and the Ravens tonight, Monday Night Football in Los Angeles. It was 3 all week long. 3 was the spread. And suddenly, a few hours before kick, Joe, what do they do to you? 2.5 goes underneath the key number. Minus 2.5 for the Ravens on the road. A very healthy 50.5 for the total this evening. And I'm seeing in a couple of books, Joe, and we know these numbers, take them as you want. 79% of the money on Baltimore, 75% of the bets on Baltimore. People going to the window with the Ravens.
Yeah, not the people that move lines, though. That's what that's telling you. This is a classic pros versus Joe's game here. The public looks at the Ravens and says, absolutely, they are the better team. They're going to win this game. And yet, like you said, we're under a field goal at this point. So the pros like the Chargers. I like the Chargers here tonight, simply to use them in a teaser leg with some of the games coming up this week. If you can give me the Chargers at home and get them up to 8.5, I will take that all day long. The total has been bet up to the point now where I think the value is on the under. That thing opened up at 47.5. But we all know Lamar Jackson is a favorite. It's not great. Lamar as a dog is a different story, but he's not even 500 as a favorite. I don't know what else the Chargers are supposed to do except win the games they're supposed to win on the schedule. They've done a good job. Herbert is healthy. They're throwing the ball more. They're not even going to need to run to take advantage of this Baltimore secondary, which is atrocious. Justin Herbert isn't. I could see this game. I could see the points coming. But I think the majority of the points are still coming from the Chargers. I'll take them in a teaser, and I'll take them on a money line.
I'm with you, Joe. I'm Chargers tonight. I like this a lot. I think that they're playing better football right now.
Yep.
I think this is a long trip for Baltimore. They haven't been playing well the past couple of weeks. I'm with you. Charger money line for me. Look, I root for points in primetime games, Joe. You know that. I got to see some points. And I think the Chargers can provide for us. So I will shade to the over there. But really, Joe, I'm looking for touchdowns. That's what I'm looking for tonight in this game, along with a Charger win. So here's what I'm going tonight. You said it already. It's my thing. The Ravens secondary stinks. They are very bad, and I think we're going to get some throws tonight. Quentin Johnston, first tutty, 14-1. I know there's some chalkier options out there, of course. Henry, Dobbins, him. Not me. Quentin Johnston, 14-1. Big play maybe from Herbert. Lamar, nice price at plus 220. Hasn't been running as much lately because I think he's a little dinged up. But still, if he goes over 2 bills, I usually like to play him. Mark Andrews at plus 240. And I'll throw in a bonus ball, Joe, with a little revenge angle. Gus the Bus against his old team for the first time tonight. And if you look, he's gotten a lot more carries the last 2 weeks. He's been more involved in the Charger offense since he got healthy. Plus 370 for Gus against the team that let him go. Sign me up, Joe, for 370 with the Gus Bus. Let's go.
I don't hate it. I would even throw a bomb in there and give me Joshua Palmer to come out with a 90-yard touchdown bomb here at some point. 35.5 receiving yards. I like the over on that. But like you said, that secondary – dead last in passing yards allowed per game, 284.5. Somebody is scoring touchdowns in a big way from Herbert tonight. The question is, how many do we want to roll around in with that offense? But somebody's going to get a couple of touchdowns here tonight.
It's plus 300 for Palmer to score anytime. And by the way, Gus has already been smashed down to 310. It was 370 when we made the board.
Wow.
They put the picks in this morning. He's already down to 310. People on the same wavelength as me with the Gus Bus. And if you get one of those long Palmer catches, I mean, we can alt him to 70 yards, Joe, at plus 370, 80 yards at plus 540. I love big numbers, Joe, if you want to go and get me involved in any of that. So I'll take some Palmer tonight for there.